you don't want to physically cut them while you're cutting them is what I'm talking about. Right now is to go to the store, pick up a couple things that you guys need to start barbering. And I was gonna vlog while driving, but that is not happening, as you guys can see. Like, I don't really, like, how did this break in my car? I haven't driven this car in like 3 weeks. It's a quarantine right now. I actually live half an hour away from the city, so it's a bit of a drive. So I'll meet you guys there. Here, there she is. I haven't seen the store in like 3 weeks. Asking if we're open. That's why barbers, you guys are essential, you guys are important. But no, we're not open. And it's gonna stay like that. Not trying to add to this. Finished packing up my bag, packed up the banner. Just gonna set it up because I thought it'd be cool. Make it feel like I'm at the studio. And we'll see you guys at home. So welcome to my house. You guys are now in my basement, which is gonna be my studio for the next quarantine. Who knows how long that could be, but I set up my banner. So it makes me feel like I'm in the studio. This is what we're gonna be working with. Like, I hope you guys are okay with that. It's all I have. I don't really have a table down here because it's a freshly renovated place, so please, like, don't mind the mess. There's not much down here, but we only have a couple things to go through. So we're gonna get right to it. All right, the first thing that we're gonna start with is your clipper. Now, I would recommend getting a professional grade clipper. You can check out Wall, Andis, Oster, Babyliss, and they have a lot of professional clippers. The reason why I go for a more professional one, even just starting out, is that the ones from, like, let's say you get from the Walmart rack they're still gonna break. You can still get the job done. I've cut hair with Walmart clippers before. I've got the job done. But in terms of longevity, the build quality is not really there. You want to go for a solid clipper, and you know it's a clipper by the lever, and that's going to get really close too. Moving on to your trimmers, really important. Every guy is looking for a sharp lineup. This is how you're going to do it. You don't need to zero gap these. All of your friends are going to tell you need to zero gap them. You'll see videos online on how to zero gap. Right off the bat, you don't have to zero gap these. You don't want to cut someone while cutting someone. Okay, you don't want to physically cut them while you're cutting them is what I'm talking about. You're the professional. At the end of the day, even if you're not a professional, the fact that you're cutting someone else, you're supposed to be the professional. Do the professional thing. Don't zero gap these off the bat. Learn how to use them. Play with your angles, because you can get crazy lines, sharp lines straight out the box. Popular against like what popular belief. Have to talk about is your shear or scissors, whatever you call it, but these are going to be a lifesaver to you. We're not going to be talking about cutting the top just yet, but what we are going to be talking about is if like there's hair sticking out here, it's a lot easier for us to just chop that little bit rather than us trying to get it with the clipper and kind of like risk a bald spot. So in simpler terms, that this is just more so for detail work, especially in the very beginning. I'm going to release more videos talking about exactly how we can use these efficiently and the technical aspect to why exactly a scissor makes the whole haircut. Ask me, a lot of people bug me for is, you know, like, Will, where do you get your shears? I've been cutting for 8 years. 6 of those years, I've been cutting with shears from like AliExpress, Amazon. you know, whatever worked. Because that was my budget for the time, was spending maybe $20 on shears. Also, like my priorities were different. I was a lot younger then, a lot older now. Up until maybe only 2 years ago, now I had the money to buy my Mizutanis. But it depends on your situation. Are you able to drop a couple $100s on shears? Or you're still learning where it's honestly not even that big of a priority. So just buy the shears like from China, and they honestly do the trick. And these are my thinning shears, and they still do the trick till this day. And I bought these for $13. $13, and my cutting shears are $600. Honestly, whatever works for you, whatever works for your budget. I'd recommend getting a pair of thinning shears, and you know it's thinning shears by the teeth. I don't know if you can see that. In simpler terms, this is how I explain it, is that let's say the hair is too thick up top and you want it to be a lot more loose. Imagine these are your hair strands, and because there's alternating teeth, imagine you take one chop and it cuts some hair shorter and it leaves some hair longer. Now it can move. Versus if they're all clumped up together, can't really move because there's no space, but now you're gonna create space. Sorry if that was weird, but that's how I understand hair. All right, so the next thing we're gonna talk about is a mirror. Now, if you're cutting yourself, it's perfect to see up close on exactly like what you did, but to cut yourself, you're gonna have to see from the back. And this is how you're gonna do it. You either use like a closet big mirror or your bathroom mirror. I just don't like using a bathroom mirror because it clogs the drain. Well, I'd recommend trying to find like another mirror, but if that's all you have, then hey, you essentially want to see exactly what's going on at the back. And I'm looking at it now and it's not looking good. So you guys are gonna see a self-cut soon. All right, so the next thing that you guys need is a spray bottle. Now in the very beginning, you guys are not gonna need this as much unless you're gonna try to attempt to trim some of the top length or maybe even the side length. I don't really know how long your hair is on the sides, but you're gonna need this eventually, especially when you're cutting with your scissors. And if you have a spray bottle to make something wet, you gotta get something to dry it, and that's a blow dryer. You don't need to spend a couple $100s on a Dyson. What you do need is something to dry it when it's wet, especially when you're coming out of the shower and you wanna cut your hair. Don't cut it like damp. If you're doing a fade, you always wanna cut it dry. So you definitely wanna dry off your hair. All right, so what you guys need next is your disinfectant. So this is your clipper side. I know Andis has their Andis Cool Care. That one works too. What it does is that it keeps these things cool because these do get hot, especially the metal, and it's gonna hurt your client or yourself. Also lubricates and disinfects them. What I find is that they still get a little dry. You don't want the inner mechanics or mechanisms of your clippers to get dry because they will seize. After disinfecting them, you definitely want to lubricate them. I like to lubricate them at the end of every day or the start of every day, whichever. But I'm disinfecting my clippers before and after each client. You don't want something on your clipper transferred to someone's head or even transferred to your own head if you're cutting your own hair. That's not good. You're gonna get in trouble. Please be mindful of that, especially at a time like this. Not saying that you're cutting hair during this quarantine, but I'm saying in general, you wanna be clean. Be clean. What is your brushes? The first thing I'm gonna pull out is a comb. I had to put it in the category, but a comb is a comb, not a brush. But you're gonna need a comb because it's essential that you comb your hair in the direction that it's supposed to be before you cut it, or else you're gonna cut something that you don't wanna cut. Next, your clipper brush. Now I have two of these. I use one to dust off my clippers, and then I have one that I actually brush on the head. The reason for this is that you want to brush the hair as frequently as possible. You don't want to mistake loose hair for hair that's actually growing. Let's say like there was a bunch of loose hair here and I'm trying to take it off and it's still there, and then I brush it off one time and I realize I cut off more hair underneath than I should have. So a trick to that, a hack, keep brushing. It's a trick that'll save you. And same thing with your neck duster. So you want to keep the client clean, as well as it's really itchy and irritating. You want them to be comfortable. Even if you're cutting your own hair, you want to be comfortable. Brush it off and you're set. You're going to know exactly what you're looking at and you're going to feel comfortable. You're not going to be itchy and you're not going to be like tugging on your cape collar. And it's really annoying, especially if your client's doing it. They're doing it for a reason because they're itchy. Dust them off. Yeah, a cape, I say that it's essential. It's super essential. And the reason why I chose a white cape, you can kind of see the contrast if a hair is sticking out. Now, if I had a black cape, it would look like, oh my gosh, like, yo, this is really even. Majority of hair is darker, so it's gonna blend in with the cape and it's gonna look good. When really, I wanna see what sticks out, what's the mistake. And if you're cutting your own hair, like I said, yo, you don't want hair in your socks. It's not fun at all. Now I'm washing my socks, just my socks, like 3-4 times. And then everyone's getting mad at me because the washer dryer is running all night. And it's because of I have toe splinters. So I hope you guys enjoyed exactly what you guys need before you start barbering. So you can start either your barbering career or a new hobby. Happy cutting. Be safe so you guys are not taking clients, and enjoy it. Like, subscribe, hit that bell, and I'll see you guys next time. For the love.